Hello and welcome everyone. Hello and welcome everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. We'll get fully started shortly. How's everyone's weekend been? It does indeed begin. Starting is overrated. Go back to bed. Meow, meow indeed. Guess what dumbass came to visit? Hello and welcome. Howdy, random fella. Hello, hello. So, I am joined today by the wonderful Aurica.
Hello, everyone.
Oh yeah, I should probably turn those off. 1 second. That's the one thing I forgot. I'm going to be turning off notifications just for the time being, but I appreciate you all regardless.
Who's excited for some more hilarious fleet battles and potentially meme-tastic results? Hello, Helmet. Hello, Bach.
I am really excited to see more front quest.
Oh no, not that cursed ship.
Oh, that was wonderful. That was a laugh to watch back.
Ugh, it was pain.
Oh, there's no front quest tier things this time. I don't believe so, looking at our lineup. Front quest is the future, and you know it. It's efficient. Looking at our lineup today, in terms of vanilla, we have vanilla high tech and vanilla low tech, but no midlines. So let me swap over to the Starsector view. All right. So our first battle today is a rematch between Carroy's Scalar fleet and Snowblade's lower fleet. If I'm not mistaken, this is the EMP heavy Scalar fleet
Indeed.
versus the Alistair lower fleet. Yes, yes it is. I wonder how Lower's gonna deal with it this time. Scalar really shut them down last time. Remove the text. Ah, thank you. I don't believe too much has changed. Still a lightning gun heavy corset, but yes, no more SB. Other than that, we have the Pylum and Cord Fighter Tresses, the Iron Discharger Sabo Frills, and that is it. If it works, don't change it.
I didn't realize there was nav relay on those tresses. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting. As well as ECM. I mean, what else are you going to really do with them? You only really have the two small energies, and I mean, they're not going to be getting into combat, so...
True, and you could put ECCM for the missiles, but I guess the speed boost and range reduction on the enemy is probably more effective.
I'm not sure if many other fleets have invested into either or ECM or NAV. Judging from having a brief look through, I don't think they have, so I'm wondering how the combat ratings go for the fleets. And ECCM on pylons isn't too optimal regardless, because after you start speeding them up, you don't get to mass them as heavily.
True.
Other than that, yep, there we go. Other than that, we still have the same Alistair builds. The Mirrored, Tachyon, and Hellbore. And these lovely Gauss Cannon Burks.
Lovely.
Hopefully these Burks can keep their Gauss Cannons firing without getting aggressed too much.
Indeed, they really want to stay away and just pound the enemy from afar.
They do indeed. However, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to maintain it, just because the aggressiveness of the potential aggressiveness of the Scalar fleet.
Yeah, not to mention the Scalar fleet. If they have that ECM, that's going to shorten the range.
For sure. So I think we're ready to get started. Let me just check if there's any descriptions for this. We have one for BlackRock, FSU, Hrothgar, and Sozzer. Nope. Okay, so let us commence the first battle.
Let's go.
Just in case. Right control, there we go. So, we have everyone moving in. I'm wondering if the pressure from the Gauss cannons can help take out some of these frills early, before the corset can get engaged.
That frill is being very aggressive.
Very aggressive on its own. Though it might not get too punished for it. Oh, never mind, it's ready on half. It's ready on half, but it seems to have retreated nicely. We are getting that soft flux built and a little bit of EMP damage on those frontal Alistair guns. And we're pushing back on the right.
Yeah, those two
shutting down
hyper
this
aggressive.
Burk. Now we might be able to, the lower fleet might be able to punish this frill in return, and it looks like they do, but they're not going to take it out for the time being. But if they keep their guns firing, which sadly they're not right now, they could easily have taken it out. We get sabers in return as we start aggressing on another Burk. In terms of the midline, the corset's comfortably taking out another Burk. On the left side, we have a fairly standoffish engagement, though the Burks are definitely on the back foot here.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely on the back foot. And it looks like the Alistairs are soon to get completely surrounded, actually. Though we might see these two Burks dying relatively soon if some of these Burks will turn and support. The left flank's going to die relatively soon as well. How's it going in the center?
Alistair and the corset facing off.
At pretty equal footing until that volley of lightning guns. However, this Alistair is completely unattended, now being pushed up on by this Burk.
Taka taka taka. Although the core set's really high flux now.
It is, however,
Ooh, that Alistair.
this Alice is completely EMP'd, so it's not going to be able to capitalize. Be a wonderful time for the core set to vent, but looks like it doesn't even need to.
Nope.
All the frills have now completely surrounded them and are engaging from the back.
Yeah, that's not good.
And now this Alice is completely
Oh,
shut
no.
down. And it's all, yep, there it goes. Scalar mopping up very comfortably.
They did, a lot of their ships did take decent damage. However, it couldn't, nothing was able to capitalize on that and finish them off.
Yes, unfortunately. We have these two frills, especially are very low. Everything else is relatively healthy. And unfortunately, this poor Alistair,
They're surrounded.
with the defeat of this last Burk, is going to get completely bullied. And it's just sadly a matter of time, though. Do we? Unfortunately, we do not get a frill kill. Ah, one does die. Off screen, I'm afraid.
Did you see that one
Shame
frill?
denied. I didn't, unfortunately.
There was one frill that got that used its burst, and then it got flamed out, and then flew across the map.
Ah. Not a shame, but a comfortable win once again by Carroy.
Yep, just 2 frills lost. Pretty solid win.
It is a big shame that Loa couldn't capitalize to finish off those last two. Well, I suppose one, since the other one died.
Yeah.
And that is another win for Carroy's Scalar fleets. Unfortunately, Loa just not being in a position to defend themselves against the Scalar fleet.
Yeah. I feel like they, when there was range between them and the Scalar fleet, they're actually doing pretty good. However, as soon as those frills got up in the faces of the Burks, it was over.
For sure. If the Bucks could have maintained their range, but Scalar with the maneuverability just is able to outflank and surround, and at that point you can't keep pressure up from a Gauss cannon.
Indeed.
So our next engagement is Carroy's Scalar fleet once again against SCC's Imperium fleet, which, if I'm not mistaken, along with Slav 101's fleet, are both Interax heavy missile span. Interesting.
Yes, this fleet.
So, yes, this is the one with 2 Dominus. I believe it was only the one before. Yep, 4 Reapers, a mini blaster array, and the lovely pulsar repeater. A wonderful gun, actually. A wonderful gun. This says 102 of 100 ordnance points spent. Is that?
That doesn't seem right.
And we also have 1 OP on all the Basilius. Do I have the vanilla patch on? Ooh, right. That might be a... Hold on, let me reset. Give me 1 moment. I knew there was going to be something. 1 second.
It's not a Starsector tournament without something happening.
For sure. For sure.
So
Highly professional.
Very professional. Silverlight, if you're there, are you watching the bingo? Silverlight.
There were talks about nerfing Reapers by 1k damage. Did that go through? I'm not sure. I know there was a lot of discussion about the Reapers after seeing the Imperium fleets. Has there ever been a single Starsector tournament with at least one big thing going on? It wouldn't be a tournament without. I'm gonna have to scroll all the way through now, aren't I? Nope, that's fine. No Reaper change. No change to balance yet for this round. Additional fleet submissions are, speaking to Ruben, are going to occur on Nemo stream, which is tomorrow.
Nemo's? Isn't that Thursday?
Is that Thursday? That is Thursday.
Well, I guess
Alright.
it's...
Let me make sure. Okay, now I've got 2 points left on the Interex. These are on 45, 240. To answer your question in the Discord, Alex, yes, I did initially forget the vanilla patch. This is... Wow, okay. Sorry, 1 sec. Do you know if the patch would have affected the first match at all? Good question. Good question. Professional. Highly professional. Aurica, tell a joke.
Oh god. I'm not good with jokes. I can talk about how I'm searching for a job right now, which is extremely thrilling. I'm applying on Indeed.com. I have an interview in 2 days for a job at Medtronic, which is a medical devices company. Is this a good joke? Is this a good joke? I don't fucking know.
Yep, today's job market is a pretty good joke.
Yikes. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for the...
But yes, good luck for the interview. There you go, there's RC8.
Talk about Vic. I mean, I can talk about it. I played with the mod. It's really fun. It's very much a faction that both new and experienced players can enjoy. They've got cool looking ships, cool ship systems, and there's a little bit of everything for everyone. So we've got like ships with they're fast and striky, but we also have slower, more sturdy ships. The capital, tons of fun. 65 DP, so it's more expensive than a Paragon. However, its ship system is literally nothing personal, kid. It shoots through space, gets to the other side of the enemy, and does a slash behind it. It's really cool.
Yeah, I've not had a chance to get my hands on Vic yet, but I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the discussions of Vic. Very much looking forward to trying them out. I think it's only fair that we rerun the first match.
I agree. In order to have a fair fight, all the changes need to be in place.
Yep. So we're going to rerun the first match. There'll be an exhibition match after the final set of matches with Vic. There will be indeed. So, not to dally on for any longer, let us rematch Carroy's and Snowblind's fleets.
Indeed. Oni, can you also stream that to me so that I can comment without being a significant lag?
Oh, sorry, did it, my apologies.
No worries.
There you go.
All right, thank you. Perfect.
I forgot because I closed the game, of course. Yeah. So, again, we have 3 of the thrills pushing up, taking a decent amount of run from the board, especially on the right here. The left one's not being pressured as much. Getting some heavy damage off those tachyons onto this thrill. Which,
And yet again, it still survives, though.
It's just about survives. If the Burks could have capitalized by getting some nasty ghoul shots into the rear. We are rematching because of the lack of vanilla patch. The EMP coming out from those Tachyon Lances doing a great job against the frills here. The frill on the right's lost all its pressure. Now all the Burks are coming far into the center.
Yeah, the changes to Sabos do make a difference.
For sure. The frill on the left trying to push up, but getting absolutely shot down this time by the Burks, who are this time able to focus fire their Gauss cannons.
Yeah, and the Sabos not being as potent definitely really makes a difference. I know I'm saying that again, but in the previous one, that's why the Burks, especially on the right side, got overloaded so quickly. Sabos just tore through them.
For sure. Have now the 3 frills, except for the one that's now once again flamed out, pushing up and singling out this Burk on its own. Will have a handy time. However, double Tachyon Lance into this frill, into the center, takes it out cleanly. The corset's not getting as stuck in as it needs to be. Is using the Tachyon Lance to kill fighters? It does. The Tachyon Lance is not tagged to avoid fighters, if I'm not mistaken. So the Tachyon Lance will fire on fighters by default.
Corset
Was
going
it
in.
starting to get stuck in for sure? It's now very heavily fluxed. Sorry, could you repeat that?
Oh, I was just saying that it wasn't focusing fire in just one Burk. It kept splitting between the two.
For sure. We do, however, start to see that the right flank is pushed up and around, and though these 2 frills are very low, if they can put pressure on these 3 Burks, they'll take them out quite handily. Since the Burks are not necessarily firing back in the center, the corset starting to take some damage as it's sitting on high flux. And it is unfortunately flamed out. We might see we might actually see Loa getting in some hefty damage on this Corsair, maybe able to pivot the whole fight.
Yeah.
The frills on the right, one of them is no longer with us.
I think it's up above.
No, it's down, and the Corsair.
The Corsair just goes down.
The Corsair gets destroyed. The Corsair goes down.
Those minor changes can make a big deal.
They can indeed. The Alistair's now capitalizing, pushing the tresses out. Now no longer to provide support. We have two frills up here getting completely distracted by this one bug, though they will take it out. It's gonna take them some time. Sorry, one frill and one tress. And it looks like the Alistair's slowly chasing down the last few tresses.
Yeah, cleaning up.
Though unfortunately the Tagmen aren't still firing at fighters.
Fighters are dangerous. You gotta take them out
Fighters
first.
are indeed dangerous.
Another tress down.
And the tress down in the south also going down. And it looks like Loa's actually got this in the bag this time.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm not too surprised, considering LOA, Scalar Tech was going to have trouble if they couldn't get close and overload / flux out the LOA fleet. And in the first round they did, but the small changes made it so they couldn't really do that, which means the range could dominate them in return.
For sure. Also, Stripe said that the Bucks were actually covering each other this time. Previously they let them get singled out. As we slowly take out this last frill.
That tress is like, please no. I look, guys, can we talk?
It's like, look, I know we might have had some beef before, but I'll just leave.
Please? Oh, it's so close.
And there we go. Loa actually taking the win this time.
Interesting. That was a very interesting, different fight.
It was indeed. And actually, Loa only lost 3 bucks this time. It's yes, indeed, a crushing defeat.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Have to see how they fare against other fleets, though.
Indeed. Later on, we will have Sozzer's lower fleet against Lightforger's Zarn fleets.
Yeah, Sozzer had the Denovan, though, and that...
Yes, unfortunately, the Donovan wasn't really performing, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Best of 3. No best of 3, unfortunately. I don't think we quite have the time for that. Carroy probably feeling robbed right now, entirely possible, but as Nia says, this fight was decided entirely by the AI. It really was.
Yeah.
So, my fleets are usually fickle. I mean, as the Burks concentrate the Ghost Fire, they put a lot of pressure on the frills. It's nice to see Loa do well. It is indeed.
And it also tells us that both these fleets aren't, terrible. It just all depends on the AI, which means that the players built them really well. It's just it all depended on how the AI decided to do things.
For sure, for sure. So, moving on to Carroy's Scalar fleet once again, for the third time, against SEC's Imperium fleet. Let me just double check that this is fine. Yep, 145. Perfect.
Perfect.
So, the wonderful Interx build. And let's check out the Dominus. So we've got the targeting package on here with double HVDs, not making use of the medium missiles. The sledge guns though, relatively good. And making lovely use of a lightning gun on the front.
Lots of vents and capacitors.
Lots of vents and caps. And the Scutum drones, I've had such a good experience with Scutum drones. They serve as a wonderful ablative armor.
I see that. They have a ton of hull and shield. Slow, but just like, yeah, I'm gonna eat a Reaper, then I'll die.
Indeed. They a lot of the time as well against missiles and such, they will also body block for you.
Right.
Let alone the actual PD they serve. They're a wonderful, wonderful drone. This Dominus is the opposite of what I always do. Honestly, the versatility of the Imperial packages really helps to go different ways with their fleets.
Indeed,
So
lots of
there
diversity.
is only one Interx build.
Elite package Reaper.
For sure. Low PD on the Dominus, you have the Scutums to help make up for it.
Yeah, assuming it doesn't actively engage them.
Yes, for sure. And then other than that, we've just got the Harpoon Basilius. We might see Triple Panda again. We do have DeTess's DA fleet coming after this, which is indeed Triple Panda. So, once again, against the Scalar fleet, let us proceed. Maybe it's a station next, that would be wonderful.
Oh god.
Double station fight.
No. Please no. Alright.
Methinks Reapers win. Entirely possible. Triple shield bypass Panda.
It'll depend on whether or not Scalar Tech can keep their ships from being singled out. Because if they get singled out, then they're just gonna get wiped.
This Interx pushing up, taking a lot of pressure. So, yep, there's the overload. Are the Phil's gonna be able to take advantage before they start getting pressured back? That two Interxes go down, one on the right, one on the left. Not quite being able to capitalize. One Phil does get disabled. Of course, it's getting stuck in comfortably, but the Schooners are blocking those EMP shots very heavily.
Indeed. Also, the Scalar Tech weapons on those frills, I forget what they're called, are actually really good anti-missile, because if you shoot something at them, there's just so much.
The based ion discharger.
Yes.
We do have a Basilius on the left here getting overloaded, but no follow-up just yet. Overloaded once again by that Sabo volley. Ooh. Heavy Sabo round coming on this Basilius.
It's like, no. Oh, that frill is toast.
There we go. The strength of stacking harpoons coming in.
Yes, very much so.
Of course, it unfortunately not quite getting stuck in. Some shots into the side of this Dominus would be lovely right about now, though not quite in range.
Yeah, it's too scared. Two Dominus and the one Corset, so it's kind of hanging back.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, there goes another frill.
So the frill here is able to get stuck in. It's very heavily punished. You can't run into that many harpoons.
What is it doing? It's like, I'm going in, guys. Wait, wait, wait. No, 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 no. I'm going in.
We do still see one Interact going down on the left there, but getting punished by the lightning gun on the Dominus covering the left.
Ooh, ouch.
What package do the Domini have? They have targeting.
Yep, range.
The
So
Frill on the left still putting up pressure even with high flux.
Yeah, how many frills do we actually have left?
That might be the only one. The rest of the tresses, right? Yes, that is the only frill left. This is pretty close. We also have a Bastille on its own being chased down by fighters, but really the corset needs to get stuck in now before the Dominuses.
One of those. Yeah, I think this is going to go to the Imperium fleet.
Hmm.
The Frills did great work. However, they tended to get punished for it just as much, and it hurt the Scalar Tech side more to lose a ship than the Imperial side.
For sure.
Not to mention, half of the shots coming out of the corset get hit on the drones, not even the Dominants.
Hmm. It's one of the reasons why the Scudam are so good.
Indeed. Oh, that poor Frill. Is it still alive? The one all the way on over there?
It is.
Yes.
It's slowly getting bullied by small arms fire from the Bastille, but
Ooh, ouch.
one Basilius on the left actually gets disabled. Was that on the right?
The
That
corset
is the one on
actually
the right.
burned in and
Yeah.
just blew it up. Yeah,
And
Nia,
the
I have to
corset
agree.
finally goes down. Yeah, unfortunately the carriers didn't put in much work at all, did they?
Also, the frills were really good at overloading stuff, but they didn't have anything to like, okay, they're overloaded, now what?
Yeah, unfortunately the Intrexes just couldn't get their Reapers in to capitalize on that.
I mean, we also have to remember that the Imperium fleet had the two Dominus that had extreme range advantage. And Carroy, you're right. The carriers did do a lot of mine work. Their fighters weren't super active though.
And there we go.
That was a good fight.
That was a good fight. A lot of Imperium ships down. Not too much survived, yeah.
Yeah, so these are the kind of fights that I love in tournaments where it's like both sides are kind of like, oh, which one's going to win? Fleets of ships being lost on each side, and we're not really sure until towards the end, which is good.
Mm. Yeah, sometimes the fleet on the black foot can kind of find the momentum and actually end up pushing forward and winning.
Indeed. All right.
All right. That now moves us on to the triple Paragon fleets.
Maelstrom.
Maelstrom? Pandas.
Pandas. Oh my god, people. You said Paragon, I said Maelstrom. It's actually a panda, guys. Turns out.
It's all the same thing.
Big ship with gun.
Big ship with gun. Big ship with gun. I'm hoping the Ulan Siege Lages can put in work without G-Kite, since they do tend to get a bit inaccurate on the last couple shots at maximum range. Otherwise, we've got hacks, the fairly standard heavy Ibis loadout.
Yeah, I see that.
I believe all of them are. They're not all the same. This last one actually has Rexons and Aegis Flak.
Yeah, so a PD ship. Interesting.
They all have, yeah, they do all have strifes as well. So hopefully they can, Opfer is the premium panda weapon. I do love the Opfer. I do very much love the Opfer. It can provide so much suppressive fire.
All right. Spicy shield bypass builds.
Depending on, yeah, depending on how well the strifes potentially body block, the Reapers coming in might be the sole decider. Indeed. On whether this wins or not, whether the Imperium can pull through or not. Let's find out.
Yep. Yes, let's. Also, don't forget to hydrate. Everyone in chat, make sure you hydrate too.
Make sure to drink your water.
Oh, that looks really cool. The three pandas coming in and the Intrex is coming around. Oh, that was really cool.
Squad life. Now we do have those heavy harpoons wave coming in.
Yep.
A few sabers.
Oh, look at all the strikes.
Thankfully taking care of it, and the strikes just absolutely gunning down that Interex. If they can keep concentrating their fire like this, they'll be able to mop up the smaller ships. Even here, they're kind of putting pressure on that Basilius. This Interex in the back, even with the multiple charges on the maneuverability system, kind of getting out pressured. Reapers do come out, but they do not land. Gonna need additional fire support for that. The Scudam's kind of sitting in the center, unfortunately not being able to get too much done right now. Do get some pressure on the Panda on the left, though.
Too much gun.
Too much gun, exactly. And how much can 3 Basilius do against such a heavy dreadnought like the Panda? Those are indeed shield bypass pandas. The Dominus is not in a good situation here. The Siege Lager's coming out.
Ow.
Ooh, we do see a bit of damage coming in on the front from the triple beam cannon and HVDs and such.
Pin in the middle is definitely taking some hull damage though.
It is indeed. When you don't have the shield, you really can't mitigate the beam damage from.
Ooh, that was a Reaper in the side of the one.
Ooh, this Panda is actually there's another Reaper, but again needs some more fire support to get those Reapers in consistently. You have a Basilius right in the back, but the Strife seems to be hunting it down.
Indeed.
Some consistent firepower on that lightning gun coming in from the Dominus, helping to shut down the Panda. Relatively damaged, but the Dominus isn't looking too good either. In the center, it's only just in the Dominus's favor. If the engagement keeps going on as it is, the Dominus will win out eventually.
Indeed. The Pandas were very aggressive to start, and the Imperium fleet was also, and the Imperium fleet lost a lot of ships because of that. However, they've backed off now a little bit, and the Pandas are starting to take a lot of damage from the front from that range difference.
Exactly. They could really capitalize on their armor to take it at the beginning, but after the armor stripped, they were just slowly whittled down.
Yep.
Scheiss, though, doing some pretty good work.
Indeed. Point out a frigate and go, yeah, that's dead.
This Basilius is not long for this world.
Okay, so wait.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
ahead.
there's still some. I was wondering if there are any smaller ships on the Imperium side left, but yeah, there's a couple.
Yeah, just about carrying behind, but another panda going down to just consistent damage from the triplex beam cannons.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because of pandas being just long and not wide, there's only one spot in the front where they're going to take armor and hull damage, so they tend to just get whittled down from there.
For sure, for sure.
Oh, is it going to take out the Dominus though?
We might see we do see a Dominus going down.
This panda is not going down without a fight.
This Dominus is pretty low as well, actually. It might be able to tank it through,
is it going to take it out?
to its hull.
This is close.
The Dominus does have a lot of charges on its triplex though and gets a lot of damage out as well as lightning cannon volley, but the Dominus does in fact go down.
So
well, I'll be.
Imperium fleet
What
has
are we left with?
2
It's actually just the panda against these 2 bacillus.
Wow, and the panda's gonna win. What's happened?
It's exactly as we said earlier. Sometimes the fleet on the back foot can just about pull through.
This is an incredible turnaround.
That is indeed on the bingo. I'll go on strifes. You know you wanna. Getting slightly distracted by the Scudums, but there we go. Diable pulling through right at the end.
That was incredible.
Yeah, I was not expecting this after the first panda died. I guess they just got enough chip damage on the Dominus to just take one out and then carry the momentum. That was a wonderful fight.
Yeah, that was really good. Flipping back and forth on each side.
Pandas will not go extinct this day, indeed. That was a wonderful fight.
Nice job, DeTess. That was fantastic, pandas.
I was indeed. It was so close to dead, yeah. So close to dead. Reminder for everyone to hydrate.
Drink dihydrogen monoxide.
Apple juice is fine too.
That works. Alright, what is next?
Next, we have Alienspacekappa's Blackrock fleet against Vanilla High Tech. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I do actually have a description to read out for Alien Kappa Banana's fleet. If you can't beat them, if you can't beat them, join them. But I would say if this wasn't the plan the entire time. Ha! Just kidding. Unless. I don't know if, I mean, the Chromaja system isn't going to do anything here.
No, it's not.
Blackrock itself is pretty bulky, but I don't know if it can withstand the consistent DPS of the DAC lasers.
Not to mention, it looks like the Beholders have been outfitted with converted hangar bays, and there are now a bunch of Talons down there.
There are indeed Talons. There are indeed Talons. I just want to have a brief look at these. So we've got the dual shard cannons. The shard cannons are one full PD. One full PD, but that's not going to do all that much here. It will help to take out the Talons, but it won't do anything for the attack beams.
Yeah. feel like, I mean, if BlackRock charges in and stays right in front of the Beholder's face, or takes out the Paragon, maybe they'll win. But otherwise, it's going to be a tough fight for them, I think.
For sure. It's possible that these Mantis with the A and Bs are able to sneak one or two in and help take them out. The weakness of the Beholder spam fleet is focusing them down, because the longer you leave it, the more DPS you're just going to take. So if you can get in there and take them out quickly while keeping the Paragon occupied, then you'll be able to push through. However, Paragon itself
is a shield bypass.
Is still the shield bypass, 3 plasma cannon and 1 tachyon lance. I did find this quite interesting, having the 1 tachyon lance rather than having a symmetrical.
I think it's so that if a fleet counters projectiles, such as with the Kuramaja against like plasma cannon, there's still the tac lance and the ion lance, or ion beam.
For sure. Yeah, the ion beam. For sure.
All we can
As
do
much
is
as you all hate the shield bypass Paragon, it's not that bad. It performed relatively well in the previous 2 streams.
Indeed.
Donut of Pain, Cursor gone, Bypasser gone. Indeed, indeed. And we still maintain the 3 tac lasers, though skipping out on the 4th to fit the talons. They're all the same, aren't they?
Yup.
They are indeed. 1 saber, 1 harpoon, coming in very strong. But the Kuramaja will, if the Kuramaja can survive for a little bit, it can at least help to prevent the missile pressure.
Indeed.
The bottom ones do have hardened shields.
Oh yeah, there's not quite a number of talons to match the Beholders.
Yes, there are 3. There are indeed 3 with hardened shields. Yep, that's fair. Shield bypass Paragon sounds dumb until you realize how much flux a Paragon with shield bypass and not spending flux on a shield can output. That's the thing about it. And like, you have 2150 armor and 18,000 hull to back it up as well. It's not awful. It's not awful. Paragon doesn't need shields if everything dies before it reaches it. Exactly. Exactly. And I think we're good to go.
Yep, let's head on in.
Let's see how well the Kuramaja can perform in the situation it's been given.
Indeed. So many beams. So many beams.
So many beams. It's visually impressive to see them all come in at the same time and just fire off all the beams, but if BlackRock can push early, keep that Paragon distracted, they'll do a considerable amount of damage. Let's see, we're splitting off in the center. 5 on each side, Paragon going right. Talon's very much helping out against the missiles. Not a single one goes through.
Yeah, too many lasers.
We do, however, as it is BlackRock, they will be able to vent very quickly. So if the AI decides to vent, then the pressure from the beams is fairly negligible.
True. What's
Pressure
going on
is
the right over
with
there?
the Paragon. Some minor pressure, though they are very heavily building flux on these on the Mantis. Talon's coming out for another round, getting in some heavy plasma cannon fire against the Kuramaja, shutting it down.
Yeah, gotta back off now, friend.
At least the Kuramaja does have the maneuverability to be able to back out.
Indeed. Paragon is slow.
It is slow, but unyielding. on the right still relatively standoffish. I imagine some chip damage we get through from the beholders as the Mantis try and vent. Getting in some good fire on the Paragon. If we can disable the plasma cannons on the front, it's actually going to do a lot of work.
I don't quite remember the build, but I'm assuming that the Paragon has EMP resistance. Oh, the Kurmaja took a full attack lance.
Yeah, very painful.
Yeah,
already
but
down
it's blocking the
25-ish%.
No, Antaeus,
We have
back
the
up.
Antaeus getting absolutely chunked. I think that's it for the Antaeus. It doesn't have the maneuverability. The Antaeus goes down. Oh, ion beams.
Yes.
Kurmaja saving it by a hair.
At least for a couple more seconds.
At least for a couple more seconds. And unfortunately it does end up going down regardless.
I mean, they've got some damage in on the Paragon, which has been pretty impressive.
Yeah, it has been damaged, and actually the plasma cannons on the front are currently disabled. If the Kurmaja is able to keep firing the Gale batteries. Oh, the plasma cannon on the third plasma cannon coming in clutch to finish off the Kurmaja. Meanwhile, this poor knight being bullied on the left
By one beholder. That's
by a single beholder, unfortunately, as they now very much converge all their firepower. The beholders here have stuck together very tightly and have been able to focus all their firepower. Look at the Mantis go down.
Yeah, pain.
And the Denustos going down too. I love the Blackrock explosions. That is unfortunately a shame. That is unfortunately a shame. Some good damage out on the Paragon, but just not enough to push through.
Yep. Unfortunately. Darn.
Again, how much can the Kurmaja do against beams?
Yeah.
It's just not able to mitigate it all.
It did good to counter the plasma cannons, but you know, it would drop its shield when it uses the ship system, and then the attack lance would just zzz.
Exactly. It did a great job of saving the Antaeus's life, but to no avail, unfortunately.
Yup.
For the background there, I would have wanted to bring my own tack lance, some ion beams. Yeah, some beams, especially just an ion beam or two, would have really helped out to mitigate damage from the Paragon by disabling some of its weapons, even just a little bit.
Indeed.
So next up, we have once again Alienspacekappa's Blackrock fleet against Mino's Tiandong fleet. Now this is what I'm very interested in actually, because I recently did a Tiandong playthrough, so I'm very familiar with hands-on with Tiandong. I just want to have a look at how he's fitted the zoo. This is actually more or less how I ended up fitting mine. The zoo's a really curious ship to fit. Don't know if you've had much hands-on with it.
Not personally, no. So I'm going to defer to your knowledge here, although I do see a lot of gun. DACA.
And that's the thing, compared to the Conquest, you lose the two large missiles on the front in favor of two large ballistics, but they are still hard points. So you really have to think about how do you want to use each of your larges, and also you do gain an additional large in the center with another ultra autocannon. And I ended up doing something quite similar though with Gauss cannons actually, but I had officer skills. PD on the side and as much gunnage for forward facing as possible. Worked out quite well.
That heavy ballistic integration really makes it though, because there's a lot of large mounts. You know, only
7
about
in
300
total.
OP.
Yeah. It really needs it. It really needs it. Otherwise, we have the Kyanzi with a pair of ion beams and the built-in trip hammer. It's a wonderful gun. It's just that the quantity itself doesn't really have the flux to support it, and it's very limited at 90 OP. But it can output a lot of damage in a short amount of time. Shuren is a wonderful ship to fit as well. Is their Eagle fit? See, he's gone with one with the Ultra Autos and one with the Hephaestus, and 2 Typhoons on this one. Curious. The Tuan Shi coming in with the Dadao and Shens. Hopefully they'll be able to... Is the Tiandong front quest more or less cursed than vanilla curse quest? Tiandong front quest I think is optimal. Is optimal. I do think you could fit this ignoring the front mounts or having them be some degree of PD and have it still be a broadsider, but you lose out on the maneuverability jets and you gain flux override, which thankfully helps to support its potentially 3200 weapon flux per second, so that is counting the PD. Now the Shurens with emergency engine power can get in there very quickly, and that's one of the big strengths of Tiandong. If they can get in and do a lot of damage early, they start to scale off near the end, because for instance the flux override becomes less and less effective as it goes on. So Tiandong really needs to get in hard and fast and hopefully finish off their opponent, which Kermage is going to do a lot of work here actually.
Yes, it is.
There's a lot of DACA.
Yes, lots and lots of DACA.
So, without further ado, I suppose we could start. I think broadsiding could work since you have 3 large guns facing the side. Yeah, the central large on the zoo is a 270-degree front-facing arc, so you could definitely broadside with it and potentially save points. But yeah, without further ado, Alienspacekappa's Blackrock fleet versus Mino's Tiandong fleet. Very curious how this will end up. If the Shurens and the zoo can punch through early, then they'll be able to hopefully press the advantage, but the Kermage will really help to shut them down, and the bulkiness of the Knight and the Antaeus will definitely have to mitigate that. Kermage are already using a system though.
Yeah, a little early there.
One saving grace though is that the Ultra Auto Cannons and the Mauler batteries are quite inaccurate at range. Jikai really helps mitigate that, though of course we're not allowed to use Jikai. You get some very consistent firepower, though the Kermage are using system to save itself.
All those missiles before didn't seem to do much because of the beholder span, but now that initial volley, that was painful.
For sure, for sure. Blackrock missiles are very juicy.
Tart. Blackrock Drive Yards has the green background home advantage. Very important.
It does indeed, it does indeed. More missiles coming in and chunking the zoo so much. This might be it for the zoo already, which unfortunately is just the case.
Wow, all those missiles, that not enough PD on the Tiandong side, I guess.
Unfortunately so. The one problem with the zoo is that if you fit it this way, the PD is facing the side, you actually have no real frontal PD. One Shuren going down as well through sheer pressure. The right side is going to crumble soon. The Tuan Shi can't hold itself against all those smaller ships, and this Shuren also being flamed out, just going to get whittled down and flanked.
Yup. Wow,
Blackrock absolutely shutting down Tiandong, unfortunately.
That was such a 180 from the previous fight where BlackRock got shut down so hard by the Beholder spam. Just wow.
Yeah, brutal. It was quick. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for Tiandong. Beam check. Shamed and shamed. Yes, missile spam either works or not, for sure.
Yeah.
You need consistent flak damage. Burst flak cannons on Tiandong's side are actually very good for dealing with big waves of missiles like that. But unfortunately, it was just too much. Just too much.
Yup. Alright. Well, what do we have next?
Next up, we have another missile spam fleet.
Oh.
FSU is not something I'm all that familiar with, but I had a look through recently, and their capital in particular seems really appealing to me. Very much like blue. But the spikes are very, very interesting actually. They're so fast. I was really curious to see the spikes go through the Kermasha system last week. It's going to be Zoo Massacre Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. It might indeed. Again, just not having enough PD to prevent all these missiles, especially the sheer quantity of locusts and schools to slip through.
Yeah, so we're basically going to see missile on missile. Whoever kills each other, at least initially, with their missile spam is probably going to win.
That is true. Maybe maybe Tiandong can.
Tiandong, my bad.
Yeah, no. It's hopefully the Tiandong fleet can punch through, since we're dealing with a lot of smaller, less centric fleets with no real fleet anchor, just more missiles.
Right. So if they can kind of hold off, clump together, use each other as defense to keep the missile spam down, and then once that missile spam is over, they could probably clean up easy.
For sure. If the zoo actually chooses to broadside here, I think that would be the best chance, actually, and just focus on maintaining PD rather than going on the offensive. And then, unfortunately, without maneuvering jets, it's hard to pivot a zoo. They're quite heavy.
All right. So. Y'all ready for
very curious
and 1,000 missiles?
Missile spam fleets are wonderful. They really are. Speedrunner strats this time, possibly. We'll see. I don't think it'll be quite as heavy a shutdown as before, but we will definitely find out. School's coming in early. And it begins. It begins. Oh, the missiles! Again, if the zoo pushes forward, then it can get its PD on the side firing, or if it pivots. Do have the Shuren getting very close to being overloaded, taking some heavy. Oof. There come the spikes. Tonshi pushing forward as it maybe shouldn't have. Unfortunately, the missiles coming in even too much for the oh, there we go. Missiles too much for the zoo as well. Spikes coming in. Target painted, and it goes down.
Those spikes should not be able to shoot over ships. They should be like a torpedo, where if you fire them, they can hit allies.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that that's that would help, but looks like another shutdown in only 98 seconds. Only 98 seconds. Not quite a minute and a half, but second stage is unguided. They're very much like harpoons, or rather, I suppose, schools in a way. Which faction is that? This was 3 Stars Union versus Jiandong Heavy Industries. It barely felt like a minute. Indeed, it was
a massacre.
It was indeed a massacre.
Missile spam, yay!
Missile spam coming in strong. That brings us to the 3rd set. Now that we're halfway through, what have your opinions been so far?
We definitely had some really good fights. I like the Panda and Imperium fight. That one was great.
It was so close.
Yeah. I think overall we've seen some good matches today. The really fast wipes tend to be a little and of course that's all just my opinion. Everyone who builds their ships does a good job figuring out, what works and what doesn't.
Sometimes they just get poor matchups.
Yeah, that too.
So, we are now moving on to Slav's Imperial Fleet versus PrismaticFlux low-tech fleets. I have a lot of respect for PrismaticFlux's low-tech fleet. I think this is the pinnacle of what low-tech is all about.
Yes. Big armor bricks.
And of course we've got the wonderful cat portraits. So let's have a look at this Kaiser, or Caesar if you prefer, build. Also got targeting package with a pretty standard HVDs and maulers and locusts. Just a very consistent output damage Kaiser. And we also have Intrexes, this time with mini blasters and ion pulsers.
Interesting.
So a bit more of a standoffish. We do have the Flamen Interceptors with converted hangar on them as well. Very curious.
PD, I guess.
Yeah. Yes, it's definitely more fitted as a opportunistic defensive fleet rather than the sheer aggressiveness of SEC's fleets. We do also see 3 harpoons, but a saber instead in the central.
Do these Intrexes have targeting package or elite package?
The Intrexes are actually without a package.
Interesting.
The Intrexes in SEC's fleet had elite package, giving them extra charges and reduced cooldown on their strafing system.
Yeah.
That is a mini blaster in the medium energy. It is indeed. Probably the rangefinder for Reapers. Entirely possible. We do have the 2 railguns and the iron pulsar. Whom will favour Iron Jesus tonight?
We shall see.
Regarding the Niagara build here, I think is really interesting. There's a lot of different things you can do with the Niagara. The versatility of having 10 ballistic mediums is nothing to be sniffed at, and it's very it proved very, very efficient at being a fleet anchor with the flat cannons and just consistent heavy mauler damage output, as well as the cheeky longbows.
Yeah. The longbows go in, overflex enemy, and then the maulers just plink, 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 plink.
Yeah, for sure. And we do, of course, have the juicy shield bypass onslaughts. As much DACA as possible. Delicious Hephaestus backed up by a heavy needler, and the threat of the TPCs, and very heavy on the flak with the flak cannons, the Aegis flak, a little bit of Vulcans, and a bit of heavy mauler support. I'm curious as to why it's heavy maulers. I would have thought about picking HVDs instead, since you have the Hephaestus.
Maybe the TPC, you're cutting on the TPCs to break shields.
Yeah, entirely possible. The enforcers are very they will enforce the law.
We have all the DACA. All your DACA belong to us.
Are they all? They are all indeed. Safety overrides for Sabos.
Assault chain
With
guns
the
and
ACGs. If enough of them can get in on anything really, they all just shred.
Yeah, assuming they burn drive correctly.
The Sabos are linked, because of course they're linked.
I mean, why not?
And we do have two challenges to back it up with a little bit of HVD support. This is a very curious fleet. It's definitely a lot more aggressive, and I'm wondering how well the Niagara pose as a fleet anchor if it can't catch up, since the Niagara, even with its burn drive, is still quite slow. I wonder if it'll be able to support the onslaughts and enforcers as they go in.
I have to see.
And yeah, we have the yep, there we go. There we go. Reset that just to make sure. This fleet is either going to destroy the Imperium or get destroyed. It's going to be one way or the other, it really is. Reapers versus Sabos, the ultimate matchup. They have enough flak that they might be able to defend themselves from all the Reapers on the low-tech side.
Unless they get shot from behind.
Unless they get shot from behind, which is entirely possible. The Kaiser will rule this match, I think. It's entirely possible it will.
Range.
Range. The lack of shields on the onslaughts as well.
Well, let's get started.
Yeah, let's get started. Intrex is forming a lovely line. Maybe all the Intrexes will be overloaded instantly and munched, maybe not. The Enforcer's so eager to get in, though it doesn't look all that good for him. No, he's backing off. He's realized maybe that's not the best idea. Saber's coming out on the left here. Maybe not enough support to capitalize on that. Niagara coming in, holding the charge. Intrex is kind of a little out of position. EMP coming in on there. Niagara is so heavy actually that it has a lot of trouble dealing with the pushback from the build-in. One Intrex goes down from the onslaught.
Yeah, that onslaught fire. Do not get in front of an onslaught. That is a mistake.
The Intrex is a nice shot, destroying about half of the armor in that small location.
Yeah, that again. The
Reaper's coming out, but the safety overrides on the
They both overloaded.
They're both overloaded, but we have missiles coming in from that onslaught to back it up, whereas the Intrex is only supported by another Intrex.
Oh, that onslaught.
This onslaught is unfortunately getting flanked, and with the firepower from the Kaiser, it's not going to be able to get those side mounts up and running. A little bit of knockback there.
Yeah, that Kaiser is definitely winning this for the Imperium team right now.
Yeah, the Reapers are not able to get through at all, and just the
upfront.
We're going in, and that's probably a mistake, even with the armor almost completely intact on the one side.
Blaze of Glory.
Reapers come in. Reapers do come in.
I mean, honestly, that was not too bad of an idea. If one side was completely screwed in armor, switch to the other side, distract the enemy, blow up the ship in the process when you're gonna die anyway.
For sure. Nagra is holding its own, but unfortunately it's just not able to keep up with the onslaughts.
We're going in. Oh,
We
shoot.
are going in hard.
That Caesar is gonna get... It's dead. It's dead.
Yeah. This is really where the strength of the onslaughts come in, just using its sheer amount of hull to take it on the chin as it slowly whittles down to the last of the Kaiser.
Oh, is it not gonna be able to manage though? Oh my gosh!
The onslaught does go down with the Kaiser on barely a sliver. That was probably the best thing for the onslaught to do though in that situation, is to just go in and try and push on that Kaiser. Unfortunately now though, here's where one of the real weaknesses of the Niagara comes in. Now that it's flanked, it won't be able to do anything.
Yeah, it's over for Niagara.
Yeah.
I want to see an enforcer bowling ball into the Kaiser and blow it up.
Oh, that would be wonderful. But yeah, the Niagara is such a wonderful wall, but it is literally that. It has so low turn rate, it just can't deal with getting flanked.
Yup.
And the knockback on the Kaiser is not helping either. Now it's just a matter of time of waiting for... Unfortunately, the Interaxes are all out of Reapers now, so we're just waiting on the Kaiser really to finish it off while the Niagara prioritize. Ooh.
Shot it down.
A little bit of friendly fire damage. I don't think that quite qualifies as blue on blue, but...
Kaiser's like, move so I can shoot it. Wait, what?
The Kaiser actually gets destroyed. The heavy mauler's coming in clutch on the Niagara. The Kaiser actually goes down.
That Niagara's like, no. Just deleted it. It's like, you're done.
Unfortunately, that looks to be all the Niagara will do. There's no shield pressure on the Interaxes. The Niagara does just about go down.
That was I like that. I'm glad the Niagara got that final shot in. Oh, now it's dead.
Yeah, a very slow and sadly pitiful.
Yes. 1,000 cut death. It's Kaiser. If you actually pronounce it in Latin, it's Kaiser, not Caesar. I'm just saying something to someone in chat.
Yeah. I actually learned that through Fallout New Vegas, of all things. After I heard it pronounced Kaiser in New Vegas, I actually looked it up, and yeah, the original pronunciation would be Kaiser.
Yep, I took 2 years of Latin in undergrad, so that's where I know it from. Anyway.
My Twitch page has just died. Give me a second to refresh.
Gotcha.
Why is it dead? Can it not be dead?
That was a good match, though. I really enjoyed the showing by both sides.
And that last cheeky shots coming out from the Niagara, taking out that Kaiser.
Yeah.
If I'm going down, I will take you with me, just out of sheer spite. Many survive with HP to spare. It was indeed a better ball than expected. That was a great cross counter from the onslaught, almost taking out the Kaiser. It really was the best thing the Kaiser could have done.
Yeah.
In that situation. Now we have the Zahn fleet. The author of Zahn Sarcom is a regular lurker in my chat, and we did discuss the results of the Zahn fight last time. If not mistaken, it was Zahn versus Lotec in particular, and we felt that the hills on the Panorellicas were just about not enough, especially with the distraction from the gremlins. But we do now actually have Ocuclops instead
Indeed.
of instead the Ocuclops is the Ocuclop singular is a wonderful vessel. The decimator built in does such wonderful damage. It's really, really good at taking out armor.
They are literal bricks. It's just
They are.
a big chunk of metal in space with guns on it.
It really is. It really is. I'm quite intrigued by the choice of the Tachyon Lances. These are hybrid mounts.
Yeah.
And having just finished a Zahn Empire campaign recently, I also found my XHAN rather than XI. I also found myself leaning more towards HE damage, as we will see on as well the Olgsan. We do have the Eagle built in, not built in rather, PD, but we also have the Zakrep. So the Stier smalls and mediums are both very effective 1k range kinetics.
Indeed. I have used, when I had Zahn installed, I also used them, and even on other ships, if I, got some other ships, I loved these weapons. Such nice range for low cost, and you can even have smalls at that range.
Yeah, the smalls also maintain the same range. They're very versatile. They're wonderful, wonderful guns. But the issue is that we've got 176 connect DPS on both of them, so about 300, 302. Along with the Tachyon Lances, which unfortunately don't generate hard flux. And I'm wondering if that's going to be enough to take out the Domino. If they can punch through the shield on the Domino, they can really punch through afterwards. They will absolutely shred afterwards, which is one of the things that Zahn really excels at, is their HE options. As good as the Stiers are, I often found myself undermounting kinetics as well. We also have the Rehel with the Iron Pulse and Reapers, very much having the same feel as the Interex, though one Reaper compared to 4 is very noticeable. And other than that, we've only really got the Olgsan without much kinetic support in of itself.
No fighters either.
No fighters either. Zahn carriers are... Zahn doesn't have many carriers.
Yeah.
And nor do they have many fighters. But the fighters they do have, they have the Schnark, which is comparable to the Ferox, with the fighter with the plasma cannon. They have the Zahn version of the plasma cannon, which is a single shot rather than 3 burst on them. And they also have Palkas, which are really good at shredding armor, but again, it's the lack of kinetic, which is potentially going to cause issues here. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, it's gonna really depend on their 2 big ships, those 2 big ones. What do they do in this fight?
The maneuvering jets on the Ocuclop will really help them to reposition.
Indeed.
Zuihao's coming in. Now Zuihao's are very bulky, but there's only so much you can do against this amount of HE pressure.
Yeah. Their system is what's it called? Damper field, right?
Yeah, damper field. Reaper's coming out.
Ooh, ow.
Taking out a lot of armor on the front of the Ocuclops straight off the bat. And just about saving itself from those. Choosing to use Vulcans here actually. Ooh. This Oculop is getting completely shut down.
Yeah. Ow.
On the left, we've got Reapers coming in as well. Yeah. The Vulcans, unfortunately, just not being quite enough to deal with this amount of Reapers. Missiles coming out on the left. We do take out an Interact, so it's not quite a shame. And I have a feeling, this Dominus, sorry, the Kaiser is just about to go down through the sheer HE pressure. I missed the fact there was a shield bypass Kaiser. Very, very dangerous against the amount of HE pressure that Zaan is able to output.
Indeed.
But depending on how long the Oculop survives...
Yeah, I mean, if the Interexes are all out of Reapers, they're not going to be able to take out those big nuggets.
Yeah. We've got 3 here with Reapers still available. 1, 2, 3 on the right still available as well, so it's possibly not looking good. It's possibly not looking good for Zaan. And unfortunately, the as good as the maneuvering jets are on Zaan, are they really going to save you for constantly being outflanked? It is starting to pivot and it does get that attacking lance to bear, but not quite enough. Getting some heavy damage out on one of these Interexes. All the Interexes on the south being completely distracted by this one Rehau as the Oculop gets some hefty damage out.
Yeah, ouch.
The Oculop in the north is using its sheer amount of damage to ignore the Bacillus on the back as it pushes away the Interax up north, and another Interax going down in the south. It is, however, it's now completely maxed out on Flux.
Shield by, oh.
As Reapers come in, there we go.
Ouch.
And we're left with a little bit of a sorry display in the south. The Olgzans are great as escort.
Yeah, very sturdy.
But once they're on their own, they're not able to deal with all these Reapers, especially.
Dodge that
We do
Reaper.
have Reapers coming out though, trying to land shots on that Rehau, not quite managing it. This one Rehau as well is distracting the rest. The Oku is holding just fine against everything else up here. There aren't any Reapers left after all. Some heavy damage coming out from those attacking lances. Maybe it's not too bad. Another Basilius going down. Another Basilius going down. Not quite able to get the Decimator to bear though.
I thought the Zaan fleet was going to get totaled after they had those couple things lost in the beginning, but after the Dominus went down, Oculop's are cleaning up.
Yeah, how many Reapers do we have left? There don't appear to be any Reapers. The Oculop's might just win through virtue of bulkiness and the fact that the Imperial fleet is now out of missiles. The Oculop's in particular is very, very bulky, more so than Onslaught if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so they're going to have trouble punching through, even if they can flank it.
It's just going to be a slow death from the Imperial fleet.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Unfortunately, the Takian's coming in to fire at the fighters.
Yeah. Wrong things.
Yeah, the Rehau in the north getting pushed on and possibly chased down now. The Ogzan and Rehau in the south now pushed to the right and doing just fine.
Nice vent there.
Very opportune.
Oh,
Yeah, the Decimator is such a good sound.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, as you say, the RQ is constantly target swapping when it needs to just help finish ships off. Another Interax going down.
Stop shooting fighters.
The Decimator is actually very good for taking out fighters in a head-to-head engagement, since the Decimator actually has an area of impact.
True. I mean more the tack lances.
But the attack lance is just coming in to pick off the individuals. How are we doing on the south? They're just keeping this one Interax at bay.
Yeah, those.
While
Those
the Oku just kind of slowly mops up. Attacking Lances putting out enough pressure to just punch through the relatively, in comparison, small shield of the Interax as they keep going down. The Oku Club almost completely unscathed, only a slight bit of armor damage in the front center.
I will say though that the Dominus had a lot of its weaponry blocked by that Intrex corpse towards the beginning. A couple people are talking about it, and so I think that really helped.
Yeah, for sure.
Cyclops finish it off. Or not Dominus, Kaiser.
Kaiser. Yeah. Yeah. The Tachyon Lances and the Decimator built in absolutely shredded the Kaiser when it was firing on it as well. We are starting to see some malfunction danger, but it's just a matter of time before the Oku catches up and finishes off this last Interax.
Indeed.
Maybe this Interax will get one more kill on this Rehell before its untimely demise.
It has so much armor for a frigate, and with damper field,
Yeah, the Rehell is such a bulky frigate. It's great for holding points.
Oh!
But
Oh, wait! Oh no, there it is.
the Rehell does go down just in time. Just in time. But a very comfortable win at the end after the Reapers were gone.
Yeah, once the Kaiser was gone and the Reapers were spent, Zahn just
That's
kind of
it.
slowly cleaned up.
For sure, for sure. There's really nothing they could do about it.
Tart? No. We're not letting plague weapons happen in the next tournament. No.
What does he mean by plague weapons?
He has recently put out a big update to Seeker, which adds these interesting and cool boss fights. And they all have these plague weapons, which are very powerful, but there's some malices associated with them, which I will let anyone check it out if they want to.
Ooh. I have the most recent Seeker, I've just it's not been my time for Starsector yet, and well, I'm now doing the tournament. I'd love to check that out when available.
Indeed. I highly recommend those boss fights. Very fun.
Next up, I'm very curious about the performance of the Donovan here against the winning Zahn fleets. I believe the Donovan fit is the same with the mosaics. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get these firing last time.
Yeah.
A lot of potential damage as long as they can get them firing. A little more of the Max rather than the Alistairs. We do have the one Alistair though, this time with 3 heavy machine guns and a Hephaestus actually.
Interesting.
We do, however, have a lot more smaller ships rather than the Gauss Cannon Burks in Snowblind's fleet.
Yeah, I think Sozzer went a little bit wider this time as well. Not as many cruisers and some more destroyers.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they had 3 max last time. They've definitely, yeah, they've gone a bit wider.
Didn't Sozzer have a description?
Sozzer does indeed have a description. And I tell you what, I actually missed, wait. I did indeed miss Deskup's FSU description. Let me briefly read Sozzer's. I have spent the most of the past week curled up with the flu. This fleet is fucked. Godspeed to my opponent. May he have a better week than I.
Oh, poor Sozzer.
Poor Sozzer. Poor Sozzer. I hope you're feeling better. Maybe the Donovan will pull through for you this time and cure your ailments. While I'm here, I'll briefly read Deskup's description, which simply says no description. Thank you for your contribution, Deskup. The only other description for me to read is Hrothgar's. So don't let me forget that. Them's fighting words, Deskup. They are indeed. Hopefully the Donovan can pull through this time. We do have a lot of HVD Mauler, so as long as they can keep them at range, they should be pretty okay. Just depends whether the Aku Club's gonna get in there and just punch through. Especially with the much smaller reeds. Maybe they'll be able to keep the Aku Club distracted and unable to get its main gun firing, but maybe there's only one way to find out.
So. Yep, there is only one way.
It really comes down to whether the Donovan can keep its missiles firing this time. Hopefully it does. It was such a shame to see it not want to do it last time.
Yeah.
Some early aggressiveness from the Weehow is unfortunately not being backed up by anything. This probably not a good idea.
They're doing their job though. They're just.
We do have missiles coming out though from the Donovan.
What are you doing?
That is not a good situation to be in. Right in front of 2 Decimators and 4 Tachyon Lances. It does have the maneuverability to back out, but it's taken unnecessary damage, and a Reaper comes in.
Oh, Donovan! Yeah.
Donovan is getting its missiles in. Unfortunately aimed at the Weehow and not really getting enough work. Hopefully you'll get those reloaded soon and put to work. This Mac is very pushed up and hopefully might be able to get into the back of the Oku. This Reed also very gone all the way around.
Yeah, very spread out. The fight has moved all over now.
Yeah, hopefully the flanks can take out the stuff in the back and then move around, but got some heavy EMP damage coming out from those Tachyon Lances on the Alistair here in the south. Not able to put pressure back. Aku Club sitting pretty. We have a spinning Reaper that ends up landing into a fighter.
Ouch.
Not quite bingo on that one.
Oh, missiles! Yeah,
Hey, we've got more missiles from the Donovan.
Oh, but it couldn't kill the...
Couldn't quite kill the Weehow. How are we doing in the north? They are not really able to get anything done up there. Completely distracted and fighted.
Very messy fight. Everyone's all over.
Is it Donovan using its system?
I think
oh, there we go. Yep. It's got those missiles back. The Alistair still having a lot of trouble with the Oku. Very heavy burst of flux, but nothing to back it up as it sadly retreats. If the Donovan can back it up with some missile support, as it fires them out again against the Weehow, not quite able to. The Alistair goes down with supportive fire from the northern Oku, but the Donovan is now left sadly on its own. We do have the one Lions on the side here, but it's not really necessarily coming to his side.
Wait, why is Zon backing off? What's happening?
I think it's possible that they're regrouping.
The AI doing something intelligent?
That's at first. Unfortunately, we do now have critical malfunctions coming in on those reeds. Some heavy decimator damage backing up the Tachyon Lances here. Donovan's still going. Donovan is still going, though it is now out of support. It's only a matter of time before the theropod of the Oku does it in. And again, the missile's coming out on the Weehow, not able to finish it off.
Yeah. Why you target the small ship?
And all that's left now is for the Okyus to push up forwards alongside the Duskans, sorry, the Olgsan.
Yep. Oh, hey.
Heavy damage coming in.
They took out a frigate.
It did indeed. And the Donovan goes down.
That poor McNamara. It's gonna die.
Poor Mac. Poor Mac. It will take some time, but it will just get shut out by the Oku.
Nope.
It's a matter of fighting uphill here. Another Weehow gets destroyed off screen as the last read gets chased down. We do actually still have a McNamara possibly taking out one more Weehow in the north here.
Maybe.
Not too pressured by the Olgsan. Zakrap is I found to be a little weak for longer range engagements. But the last Lion is getting bullied and slowly whittled down. The Oku's not wanting to fire to cause friendly fire damage, since that is perfectly
Oof.
an option. One more Weehow does go down, but that is
Brutal.
sheer bullying. All that's left is now this one Mac in the top, which looks like it might get this kill in this Weehow.
Yeah, it's looking like it. Congratulations, friend.
I have a cat trying to climb up on my chair.
I heard that. Kitty!
If I'm not mistaken, someone in the Reddit wanted more pictures, which might happen. It might happen. McNamara is still
Not giving up.
pulling through for the time being. We are now in timeout. It does finish off one more Weehow.
Why couldn't the McNamara have been doing this earlier? It's being amazing. That's like a player.
Backing off to get its flux back. It's now at a complete standoff. They're just kind of looking at each other, wondering how this is gonna go.
Cart, if the McNamara can kill one more ship, I would classify this as Doom Guy piloting.
Yeah, this might be, but unfortunately it's now pushing up into the Okus and
It's like, you know what? Nope, we're going in.
denied Doom Guy. Unfortunate for Laura on this end.
Yeah. I feel like...
It's nice to... Yep.
I was just gonna say, the Donovan, it's getting changes and updates, which I think it'll make it much better, but it just couldn't add anything to the fight beyond a missile here and there.
Yeah, like the missiles it were firing off, maybe one or two of them was landing on the Weehows, but it's not really the priority target.
Yeah. Cart, you're probably right. The timeout made it reckless, which meant it went in and started just shooting.
Feels like, I should have gone more cruiser heavy. Entirely possible. I don't think the reads contributed all that much. Maybe replacing them with Max would have helped to give them the punch they needed to pull through.
It was more cruiser heavy previously, and Sozzer changed it to be more destroyer heavy, so I think it's just unfortunate matchups and the Donovan not pulling weight.
But the change to the Okyus over the Panrelkas is definitely a welcome change for Zaan. It's really the Okyus have contributed so much.
Indeed.
Seems like Macamina should have got more attention overall. The Mac on its own really pulled its weight at the end, just before timeout occurred. Okyus are far stronger than they look. They're bulkier than Onslaught's, and the build-in is very, very good. In the Okyu, in the Zaan versus Vanilla Low-Tech, previously, if the Panrelkas would have been Okyclops, the Decimators would have made very short work of the Onslaughts. We do now move on to our last 3 matches of the night, starting off with SafariJohn in his Reuter fleet and Hrothgar, who does have a description for me to read. Life is like a box of alcohol. You never know what you're going to get. Sad but beautiful piano theme starts playing.
Alrighty then.
No, that's not beautiful, that's beautiful. I'm also curious to see how I've not really the Colossus Heavy fleet before didn't really get to do anything at all. It seemed conceptually flawed. So I'm very curious to see what he's done here. So, do you have the ranch? With Miserax, with Sabos, Breaker Drones, clipped ACGs. We've got 2 Telemans. I believe there was only the one before.
No, I'm pretty sure there were 2.
Right.
But they did work.
Driver, Devastator Cannon. Yeah, they were very good. It's just they didn't have anything else to back them up. The Colossi fleet wasn't able to help support them. These are mirrored with the power driver and the Devastator cannons on each side. We have 4 ranches in total, and we've instead gone for pepper boxes.
What is this?
With a built-in Devastator and an Atropos.
Oh my god.
And that's about it. They do each have ECM package, so they will help to contribute, even by existing for the Telemon. The ranches are the same except the 3 of them, which forego one of the rock swords for EDC instead.
Extreme
Very
modifications.
cute.
Extreme
Yeah.
modifications, really? Oh my god.
Yeah, unfortunately, the 30% reduced refit time might come in to this is a major play here. We'll see how well the fighters are able to perform. Very curious. And we do have the Mysore Navy fleet. It's curious that he's gone for only one of the fighters on the Sarissa. Ultraviolet pulse lasers and auto pulse lasers. We've gone for heavy Shrieker.
That's an interesting missile.
2 OP for 1800 HE alphas. Possibly very good. It's very cheap for what it is. We do still have the crows and the spin to win parries.
Oh, I hope it does that this time as well.
I've not had much experience with my... These heavy iron lances seem very interesting.
Yeah. They're like if you took a tack lance, made it kinetic, and did almost all EMP damage instead of actual damage.
If these can keep firing, unfortunately on a 7.6 refire, understandably actually, then they'll put in some hefty work. We do indeed have 8 of them. So if they can converge their guns on a single target, they'll completely shut it down. These also do have ECM as well, and annihilators. Hopefully the AI will make good use of the annihilators.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
I imagine if the Voider fleet is able to withstand the initial attacks from the Scaramouche and end up punching through, they're going to crumble, but decent shields overall. So let's see how the updated Voider fleet does against Witcher meme barrel alcohol.
Oh my god, let's see.
I did just notice that the 4 ranch Voider Union fleet is indeed called 4 ranches. Let's see how this goes. Very curious to see whether the consistent damage from the Scaramouches will, rather the burst damage from the Scaramouches will help to cripple the Voider caps.
Yeah, because it's really going to come down to the Mysore and fleet being able to take those out, because they don't have a capital or like a big ship to defend themselves.
Ooh. The first fire from those iron lances completely wasted actually. And actually, the pepper boxes are too small for both of the lasers to hit.
It's very interesting.
The fight is completely shredding the one Scaramouche. Unfortunately, that might just be what ends up killing all the Scaramouches. They're all dying to as they're pushing up, they're just taking way too much damage.
Yeah, the fighters are painful. Who knew carriers are OP?
Who knew? The one Telemann isn't able to fire with the other in the way, but it doesn't look like it's entirely necessary right now. The Sarissa is being pressured by the fighters, unable to get its water costs firing. We do have the one Telemann fluxed out, not fluxed out, but very high on its flux.
Yeah. It does have those armor modules around it though that keep its guns safe from EMP, I think.
We do have a few of the front guns disabled, but we have the ones that matter are still functional. Unfortunately, I'm noticing that the Scaramouches are starting to fire and then they rotate away.
Yeah.
They don't get the full effectiveness.
They're also being way aggressive with their
They're
range.
they're being too aggressive without support. They're charging in on their own, then dying. Then another one comes in and
dies.
And yeah.
Ooh. Going in.
Telemann coming in. Unfortunately, the Sarissa is just not getting stuck in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that the armor modules is what's saving this. If with this amount of EMP damage, it's You could take an onslaught and just shut it down, but something with arm modules like this is negating it. Without the EMP arcs as well on the ion arcs.
Yeah. Wow, the ranch's dissipation must be horrible. It took so long to vent there. Wow.
Yeah. Telemann charging in again. It knows it's not under threat at all.
Yeah, it's just, it can just walk up to them and start firing.
Yeah. Do you have anything else going on? Pepperbox is getting knocked out in the south, but that's to be expected.
Yeah. They're literally just mobile devastator cannons.
Scaramouche did not do the Fandango. Telemann just charging in. It knows what needs to be done and is not holding back.
No,
That said, it is now pulling back.
It's like, well, maybe back up a little.
Yeah. I might as well maintain my range advantage. No, actually, you know what? No, I will charge in.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Where's the other Where's the other one?
Just chilling out in the back here, enjoying
It's
the
like,
view.
you guys got it. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
take a lunch break.
Safe to burn? Yes.
It's always safe to burn.
Fortunately, the helper on the back not quite able to land its shots at that range.
Oh, Telemann is now actually engaging.
Another Scaramouche goes down, another pepper box down.
Let's just kind of clean up from the Reuter side now.
Yeah. So real shame the Sarissa didn't engage as much as it needed to, but at the same time I don't know if the autopulse would have really helped all that much against the bulkiness of the Telemann. Sarissa goes down.
Yeah. It was yeah, they couldn't do anything against the Telemanns. They couldn't handle the fighters. It was pretty painful for the Maestro side.
Whittled down by the crows. That is the win for SafariJohn.
Using his
Change
own
from
mod.
conquests. Yeah, the change from not conquests, colossi. The colossi really didn't work out last time. This seems to be a much better fleet overall.
Indeed, but I mean, it wasn't completely one-sided. A lot of the pepper boxes did die.
A lot of the pepper boxes did die, but at the same time, I kind of feel like that was the point.
True.
They're all like the Telemanns took no damage. They came out of that almost completely unscathed.
Yep.
And the ranchers put in a lot of work as well.
Those fighters.
Next up, we have the winning Reuter fleet against Angelhood's. Angelhood? I can't read my own handwriting apparently. Yes, it is Angelhood. Angelhood's Yardi fleet. Now, last time, I do believe that the Yardi fleet was not set properly with officers.
Maybe not? I don't remember. I know that it did relatively well, but then eventually fell to its opponent.
Yeah, I think the last ship standing was the Air. We do have Cabaloys with I believe these are the Rakshasa. Yes, the Rakshasa and Skinwalkers. I am a huge fan of Skinwalkers. They are not to be underestimated. The volley of Black Cap launchers can very much do a lot of burst damage initially, and then chip away at our hull damage with the particle cannon.
Indeed. Not to mention they have their own built-in PD.
Yeah. The fit otherwise mainly PD in the Barago. The Vardar not using a fighter tool. They're all invested into the to the 3 Cavaloids, understandably. Otherwise, we have minarets for missile. Yeah, for missile pressure, and that seems to be it. It's very much hoping that the Vardar is able to pull through.
Yup. With the cavalry doing their fighter business, and then the Vardar just being the anchor, the thing that keeps the fleet from shattering.
We do have 3 Baragos and the Takan Lances on it as well. Hopefully the chain CPCs can put in some work, because if I'm not mistaken, the Vardar was trying to broadside in its previous engagements. Remember to drink water, everyone.
Indeed, hydrate. Hydrate.
Hopefully the air can distract a little more. It was actually very entertaining to see that this was the last thing that died in the previous engagement.
It's supposed to be a distraction ship. Didn't do that last time.
Very curious as to how much damage the other Akitsushima will end up outputting. I don't believe the Reuter fleet, apart from the Devastators on the Telemans, have too much PD. Actually, that said, we have the pepper boxes, don't we? But I don't know how comfortably pepper boxes will withstand the damage from the Black Caps on the Skinwalkers.
Yeah, they are likely just gonna crumble. Although it depends on what the ranches do with their fighters. If they defend, then they could definitely hold off the Shadow Yard fighters, I feel.
For sure. There's only one way to find out. We'll see if the pepper boxes push up too fast and too aggressively, then they'll get ruined by the alpha of the Yardi fighters, and that'll basically be it. I think it mainly comes down to this, whether the pepper boxes. See, the sheer amount of alpha that the Black Caps do.
Could be a good way to pull out some of the missiles that Shadow Yards has. Oh my gosh. Yikes.
Yeah, the Black Caps are underrated. As much fun as Nemo has with the Shikomis, the Skinwalkers for 15 provide a lot of alpha damage up front. The distraction liner, the air coming in, taking up all the damage actually from the crows. Sorry, not the crows, the fighters. However, the air is actually doing a really good job right now of taking fire away from the rest of the fleet. The Vardar getting,
although it's about to die.
Shikomis! One moment.
Yeah, let's just ban that person real quick here. Oh, Nemo! Hello, Nemo. There are no Shikomis in here. It'll be okay. You don't have to worry.
Apologies for that.
No worries. All right, so
This is indeed a Shikomi-free zone. But the Skinwalker's still putting in a lot of work.
Indeed.
Telemon's not really able to get in. The Vada is just sitting at range and comfortably firing in.
Yeah. High flux though.
It is high flux, but I believe it has a strafing system so that if it does start to come under fire, it can just move out and vent if it desires.
True.
Huge fighter pool going on in the left.
Yeah.
Some of the pepper boxes are actually staying back, not even choosing to get involved.
They're like, you know,
As the one minaret just kind of dies pitifully. Carroy is sitting back comfortably, though the Carroy on the left is pushing up way too much. Vada is still sitting out of range. Bit of a stalemate going on between the two Telemons and the Vada.
Yeah.
Really comes down to how these Carroys act. They're now pushing around on the left.
Yeah. Are there any minarets left?
There is this one minaret, which is dry on its Typhoon.
Well, I guess there's
Pepper boxes are now starting to malfunction. There was actually a minaret on the right there, just
Oh,
just going in.
in.
The Telemon goes in. Telemon goes in. The other Telemon needs to follow up with it to really push on this Vada. But it's choosing to stay back. Vada is sitting comfortably at high flux as it unleashes the chain CPCs, CEPCs rather. Telemon slowly backs off, realizing it doesn't have support.
Those rider caps are maybe a little strong. With the armor modules, their burn drive ability, I don't know. To me that feels a little strong. Although I guess it's up to the mod author to decide that.
Possibly a little more science required. But that's the thing, it didn't even take damage from that. The hull damage itself on the front module is almost completely intact.
Yeah, so it's basically taken no damage from numerous
Vada
attack
getting
rounds.
another barrage coming in, only a little bit more damage coming in.
Skinwalkers came in to support though.
Yeah. The one Telemon on the right actually distracted now. It needs to come in and fight off this Vada, as the Vada is now putting pressure on the ranches.
Yeah. Oh wait, the ranch has an armor module too?
Does it?
Something just blew up in front of it. Maybe it was a fighter.
No, it does indeed have an armor module too.
Oh my
See it
gosh.
on the previous ranch.
That's so strong.
The ranch unfortunately does go down, and I think with enough time the Telemon would possibly go down if the Vada can keep its guns firing on it, but it's too high on flux. It's too high on flux. It won't be able to sustain its fire for too much longer without retreating and venting and then coming back in.
Yeah, the Telemon also still has all of its armor modules intact, no hull damage. So, unless it's just dumb, it's probably gonna take out the Vadir.
This Carroy going down.
No.
Now kind of running out of alpha damage from Yardi.
Oh, hey, it took out the first armor module.
The armor module's down and it's actually now overloaded. If the Vada can get in.
There's a second armor module though, so it has to
Yeah,
get
there's
out
3 in
first.
total, right?
Yes.
2 on the sides, 1 on the front. The frontal one is down, but unfortunately not focusing its fire, choosing instead to go after the ranch.
Honestly, I don't think that's a bad idea.
Yeah, it's not a terrible idea. Get rid of the fighters while the Telemon is occupied, but unfortunately the ranch, the Vada is too low on health from just consistent chip damage and goes down. all that's left really now is the one Carroy. The one in the north is being taken out, and that's gonna be it. It's gonna be it. The Talman has 3 armor modules, one frontal, one front left, and one front right.
Yeah, so it's very, very durable.
Yeah. It's only taken a small amount of damage, like maybe 5% on its actual hull. Carroy now under fighter threat as it goes down. Unfortunately, one of the weaknesses of Shadowyards is the lack of kinetic damage.
Yeah, they have a lot of energy.
Which on a bulky shield, you need that kinetic damage to help shield pressure, so you can actually start punching through that armor.
Right.
So the Telemon front armor is 2,000 armor.
Wow.
I don't think Midas armor actually impacts any in combat. Yeah. The side modules are 1,800 and 1,500. But yeah, the front module is 2,000 armor.
What's the main hull?
The main hull itself is 1,300.
Look at how much hull it has, though. I guess it does have reinforced bulkheads. But
without
that's still
reinforced
a lot.
bulkheads, that's still 16,000.
What's the DP? Hover over the
40, same as an onslaught.
Damn, that's like 3,300 armor you have to get through just to start hitting it from the front.
The base flux is pretty low though.
That's true. That's true.
But you do have 2 inbuilt not inbuilt fighter wings, but you do have 2 fighter wings available to help provide that damage for you.
True.
Very strong.
Yes,
Possibly
indeed.
too strong.
Yeah, maybe
That is
a little
another
less
win
armor.
for the Roider fleet, which now brings us to the last fight of the day, which is Akitsushima's Vanilla Low-Tech versus the Yardi fleet. Now, this low-tech fleet, I believe, doesn't use shield bypass. It uses, yes, hardened shields instead on the onslaughts. The Liberator I've not had much experience with. We've got 2 Mark 9s on here and Thunders. You can't go wrong with Thunders though.
Indeed.
And burst jets. The Condors, if I'm not mistaken, did a lot of work previously, and so did the Gremlins too. They provided so much distraction.
Yeah.
Very curious to see how this is going. We have the Storm Needler on the front of the onslaught, so if they can burn in and push up on the Vardir, especially with the hardened shield,
Yeah.
they're going to shred the Vardir, hopefully.
It's gonna fall pretty quick.
If not mistaken, the 4 harpoons also performed really well.
Yeah, that Storm
Previously.
Needler gets rid of shields and unleashes the harpoons.
Yeah. And oof, we do also have Thunders on the Condors too.
Even when nerfed, Thunders are still really good.
Thunders are really good. So, is everyone ready for the last battle of tonight?
Drumroll. Let's go.
Let's get to it. Let's see how well the Gremlins can do. If the Gremlins can take a lot of the Black Caps and just phase out, that'll help to mitigate so much upfront damage.
Indeed, all that strike would be gone. Well, here they go.
Here they go. These are the Baragos. Here come the Black Caps, which are understandably wasted. Gremlin does come out of phase to no real damage intake. The Skinwalkers do start coming in now on the left. Gremlin on the right, providing a little bit of distraction, not too much though. As our main clump of low tech kind of pushes up slowly. The distraction line is kind of a bit hesitant almost. It's actually pulling back now.
Yeah.
Letting the Varde come in.
No. It's backing up. It needs to get in there.
It does need to get up. The Condors are unusually pushed up. They really need to be holding back. The Thunders have, what, 6,000 range? They don't need to be this close.
Yeah. The
Liberator's getting shredded. The Minaret taking some heat.
Yeah, pulling that onslaught away is actually really helpful.
The Gremlin on the left, not providing too much distraction. It's used both as Reapers as well. The Liberator's not looking too great.
But that onslaught has got its eye. Well, it did, but now it backed off.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, it seems like the Varde has taken a bit of a hit into the side, but the Liberator is continuing to take heat.
Yeah, it just took out another Condor too. That's another 2 Thunders gone.
Yeah. Yeah, the Onslaught is kind of out on its own, actually being distracted by the air. Not necessarily even on the front line, but on the flank this time. Yeah, the Iron Beam and the Tack Lance hit coming in heavily on the Liberator, unable to do anything at this point.
Yeah. Oh, now it's turning.
Do get a overload on the one Minaret.
Let's fire all the harpoons.
Yeah, let's fire all the harpoons. That'll do it.
I'll get it, just in case,
Liberator's still taking heat, just slowly being whittled down, especially by the Tack Lances coming in.
Yeah, if the onslaught turns and actually helps.
Yeah, the Liberator goes down. The Gremlin in the north is still kind of holding its own against the 2 Minarets, but if the Onslaught decides to burn in now, it might be able to put out some pressure, getting in some nice damage with the TPCs, but now kind of it needs to vent.
Nice, that vent's gonna save it.
Yeah, it has the bulk to be able to face vent. It just needs to now. It needs to now burn in after the Varde's just used its movement system.
Go, burn in, or not.
The Gremlin in the north there finally getting destroyed. Though we still have the one to the northwest. The one Onslaught still distracted by the air. Yeah, doing a great job, but it's almost gone now.
Still, it's done a fantastic job and doing exactly what it needs to.
Doing exactly what it needs to. Unfortunately, this seems like the last Condor.
No, there's one behind the other Onslaught.
There is indeed one behind the last Onslaught.
But still, the Vardier's taken out 3 of the Condors.
Varde is doing a lot of work. If the other Onslaught, unfortunately, a whole CPC volley goes into the debris. If the other Onslaught wasn't completely preoccupied by the air, which is now gone, the Varde, I imagine, would not be in as good a shape. Sneaking in some cheeky beams around the wreckage here. Unfortunately, the Onslaught is now just sitting on high flux, kind of under threat. The Varde actually starting to back off. If the Onslaught face vents here, it will take a lot of damage from the Tachyon Lances. But the other Onslaught is now coming in.
I feel like the Vardier should have been shield tanking some of those TPCs. It had flux. That was weird.
Yeah. It's choosing to fire on the Condor with the one Tachyon Lance. Definitely a huge mistake. So the Varde is now out of the picture.
Ah, but the Skinwalkers took out the Condor.
The Skinwalkers did indeed take out the Condor, and the air definitely served its purpose, taking the Onslaught for as long as it did.
Yeah.
But now that it's down, the other Onslaught comes in and just helps clean up.
Alright, so what's left in the Shadow Yards?
We have the one Cavalry to the south, one Cavalry here, and the last Cavalry. So all 3 Cavalries. It would just be a matter of the onslaughts burning at them.
Yep. I feel like this is going to be either the Shuddyard's fleet messes up bad and gets the Cowboys out of position, or it's just going to be the Onslaught's forever chasing them until timeout.
Well, we're 360-ish seconds through, so timeout isn't too far. So, I mean, 3 Cavaloys, even as strong as Skinwalkers are, they're not going to be able to take out these onslaughts with the 2 Devastator cannons fitted, especially if they're going after the Gremlin, which unfortunately now does go down, but
Rip.
again has served its purpose.
Yeah. I feel like both fleets, the ships did a very good job. The air distracted, the Gremlins distracted, the Vardir used its mobility to shoot at the Condors behind the onslaughts. I think they all did very good.
Yeah, they definitely did what they were supposed to do here.
Yep.
Punished for not running the Mimir meme. The trouble with the Mimir is that the AI is often quite bad at aiming the inbuilt Hrothgar lance. They often miss, and they're quite bad at managing the flux associated with it. Against the consistent pressure of an onslaught, you can't really use the lance too well. Normally they're just chunking.
Also, it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna vent.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna vent. Whatever.
TPC coming in just to finish that one off. Burning, unfortunately, away from the last one in the south. This onslaught burning in. Almost able to catch the one Cavaloy with its Storm Needler. Unfortunately, pulling away a little bit.
Too close to the edge of the map, probably.
Yeah, it is now burning in though. I think he just wanted a moment to stretch his legs.
Right, he's like, yeah, we're doing good here, guys. Just 1 second.
Yeah. Pour yourself a drink. Yeah, unfortunately the Devastator's taking the Skinwalker volleys quite comfortably.
Yep. How are we doing in the north?
Unfortunately, it's going to be a matter of the Cavaloys just kind of kiting the onslaughts to no avail. The onslaughts not going to ever lose. Even in a matter of CR, the Cavaloy CR won out long before the onslaughts.
Oh, it's getting ripped. That Storm Needler. No, not the fighters.
I'm wondering if this is an instance in which I want to speed this up.
I honestly think it would be worth it.
Yeah, if not mistaken,
that's... You know it's going to be down slots.
Yeah.
JRG, I know. I've been noticing chat. Just trying to pay attention to the onslaughts. And the Cavaloys
go down. I mean, the RD fleet did quite well. It's just not able to punch through those onslaughts at the end. The Vardir did a great job of handling the Liberator, and the air did a great job of handling the one onslaught. It's just that the Vardir wasn't able to push on the other onslaught.
Yeah.
While it had the opportunity to do so.
Yep.
And that
is that.
And that is that. It was really sketchy early on, but the onslaught provides proves why low tech is best once again. Yeah, some really good matches, especially the I think the major highlight is the Diabol versus Imperium fleet. That was honestly, it was such a good match.
Yeah, constantly back and forth, like, oh no, this, oh maybe that, or maybe this.
For sure, for sure. All right. So Nemo will be streaming stream number 4 with Night Chase once again for our next tournament stream. I will be taking a short intermission, then carrying on Starsector myself. Aurica, what are you getting up to for the rest of the day or night?
I'm gonna be playing some Arc actually, and then tutoring because I tutor people.
That's fair enough. I hope everyone here had a great time. This has been my first experience with the tournament, and I hope I provided a decent enough show.
I thought it was great.
Thank you. And thank you for co-hosting.
No problem. Happy to be here.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll be taking a short intermission, and then I'll be carrying on my own playthrough for those of you who want to stick around. For those of you heading out, thank you everyone for coming along. Hope you enjoyed. And catgirls are temporary, Ladle also forever. Indeed they are. Indeed they are. I will be, at the end of the intermission, I'll be turning on notifications and such, and I'll be thanking everyone for follows and such. But yeah, it was a pleasure to have you, Aurica.
Pleasure to be here.
Alright. I have to remember how to do this now. Thank you, thank you.
Indeed. So, am I all done? Anything else I need to say?
I don't know if there is. We've kind of wrapped up.
Okay.
I suppose.
All right, then I will.
Aurica, tell a joke.
No. Nope. I got nothing. Maybe, you know what? Next stream, I'll come prepared with chemistry jokes. Perfect.
Wonderful.
All right. See you, everyone.
See you later.
Bye, Ani.